Hi everyone, I'm Leo, and today this is my Renaissance artist video representation. And the artist I'm gonna represent is Leonardo da Vinci. So, who was Leonardo da Vinci? Leonardo da Vinci is one of the famous artists, mathematics, and scientists of the entire period of the Renaissance. He was born in the 15 April 1452 in a small town called Vinci, like his name. Da Vinci is meaning he was from there, so this is his hometown. In a family uh, with his dad called Piero da Vinci and his mom Caterina. So his early life was really complicated. He spent his early life before 10 years in the house with his mom in a small town called Arciano. And after he went in the household of his father, which he learned education full in Latin and mathematics. In the mid of 1460s, Leonardo moved in Florence with his dad, and which this time was the center of the Christian humanistic thought and culture for Leonardo. And in this period, he firstly start his inspiration for art and painting, which he continued for his entire life. In the age of 17, Leonardo went to the workshop of Verrocchio, which a lot of famous painters of this period they are contemporary in the same workshop. For example, Botticelli, Ghirlandaio, Perugino, all the the most famous painters existing in the same time. After 10 years, at the age of 20, Leonardo qualified as a master in the Guild of St. Luke, the Guild of Artists and Doctors of Medicine. But even after his father set him up in his workshop, his attachment to Verrocchio was such that he continued to collaborate and live with him. In January 1478, Leonardo received his first independent commission to paint the chapel of Saint Bernard, which now is in Palazzo Vecchio. This is his first independent work out from the Verrocchio studio. After this, in 1482, he received a commission to paint the Virgin of the Rocks in Milan, and also in Milan he started his masterpiece of the Last Supper for the monastery of the Santa Maria delle Grazie. Leonardo returns in Florence at early 1503, in which he finds the perfect model for Mona Lisa, which is Lisa del Giocondo. This is where the masterpiece of the entire story of the Renaissance born. The old age of Leonardo was passed in France, and he dies at Clos Luz on 2 May 1519 at the age of 67. They say it could be of a possible stroke. The masterpiece that I'm gonna represent today is The Last Supper and Mona Lisa, which are two of the masterpieces of Leonardo da Vinci known in the entire world. Let's first talk about The Last Supper, which I wrote in the reflective essay 2. The Last Supper is a painting by Leonardo using a really experimental technique called a secco, which I think is an innovation other than fresco, created by Leonardo da Vinci. The Last Supper is located in the Church of Santa Maria delle Grazie, and in this painting, Leonardo wants to represent the scene of the Gospel of John 13:21. In this painting, Leonardo follows a very symmetric scheme that he created for this painting, which we can see the Jesus or the God is in the center, and he put all the 12 apostles divided by 3 in one group, different in all the sides of the desk. Also, Leonardo tried to interpret in this painting all the emotions and actions of the apostles, depending on what the gospel is saying, which I think is really cool because through this painting that he made, we can really feel alive in the scene of the gospel, and which with none of other painting we can do it. The other masterpiece I'm gonna talk about is the Mona Lisa, which is a painting by oil on canvas, more specifically on a specific wood called pioppo. And the model of the Mona Lisa, as I talked about before, was Lisa del Giocondo. That's why in Italy we call this painting Gioconda too. So why Mona Lisa was so famous between all the masterpieces that Leonardo made all these years? So Mona Lisa is famous because the execution that Leonardo gives to this portrait was perfect. From the trace of his painting, the details of Mona Lisa, and the atmosphere that he creates in this painting was something that's awesome. The background of this painting was situated as we see in Florence, because it's the typical natural Florence, which are the mountain and trees. But the thing that specialized this background was the Arno River, which Leonardo is very affectionate at it. So why Da Vinci was so important for us and why everybody likes him? First of, out of the topic of art and everything, he was a he was the greatest science of the Renaissance period and the greatest mathematics of the Renaissance. He created a lot of things, a lot of technology that everybody never found it before. For example, people argues about him that he has a project of the prototype of the airplane and also an early type of tank. And he was a really good scientist too, which he did a really huge innovation in the field of science with his anatomy perspectives and other researches. And for sure, in the art field, he was known mostly for his two masterpieces, which is Mona Lisa and The Last Supper, which are the greatest work of the entire period of the Renaissance. So a lot of people call him genius of the Renaissance. So my personal opinion about Leonardo da Vinci is he is my favorite artist of all time. You can see either my name. So before I was called Leonardo too because I really like him and that's it. And after a lot of people use this name in Italy, so I changed my name. So Leonardo means a lot to our history, the entire history. We can say the entire humanity, because a lot of studies that he did influence the innovation of our time. For example, his study on the science anatomy and his art, which influenced the entire generation of people and the art too. And his personal techniques, which he did in the wall paint, for example, the a secco technique, which nobody did it before he appears. And for example, his mathematics study, either like the Da Vinci Code, and that's what I think about Leonardo da Vinci, and he's really important to me, and I wished I would be a genius like him one time. Thank you for watching.